Have you ever felt really down and not quite sure whether or not you're going to be able to continue doing what it is that you're doing? I know I have several times in my life. Perhaps you've got friends who you have noticed a change in. They're pulling away from everybody. They're behaving in a different way. And you feel a little bit powerless as to how to help them. Well, that is happening a lot right now. The world as it is, being so volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And everything that we've been navigating over the past few years is really taking a toll on a lot of people. And I'm one of them. You know, just because I stand in front of this camera each week and I talk to you as an expert in human behavior who helps people to change their lives all around the world doesn't mean that I've got it down pat. In fact, it's been said that coaches tend to work in the area that they needed or need to work in themselves. And for me, this has been a different time over the last few years. And I know that I've needed to think differently and to do some things differently. So if any of that relates to you, stick with me, because this week I want to help you so that you feel empowered to be able to support yourself and give the support that you want to others. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, VUCA Leadership and Sustainable Performance Coach. And today I want to jump into the middle of our conversation and put other things aside right now to help you to learn about a conversation that could change your life. Most people suffer in silence. They put on a brave front, and, you know, we've talked about the root cause of that being the performance trap, the approval addiction, all those things that are attached to an unhealthy belief structure and conditioning in your identity. So they go it alone because even though things are bad, they sense that if they are burdened on others, it'll get even worse. You know, what we let go in here and keep rattling around and we ruminate in our internal dialogue and feed that mini-me is going to be the way that we behave. And we've talked all about that. We've talked about triggers and behavioral self-control and all those things. But today I want to equip you with something that I'm very passionate about. Right now here in Australia, I'm participating in K's for Are You OK? Are You OK is a conversation that could save a life. Are You OK is a movement helping to bring awareness and skill set to be able to help to reduce the incidence of suicide. You know, the statistics are staggering around people who get to the point of not being able to go any further. So they take their own life. And it's totally out of character to what people would normally see them. They're even confident people who look on the outside to have everything together, but they don't. You see, when you look at people, you don't know what they're going through, because if they're a human being like you, they're holding some stuff in. They're only showing you what they feel they can show you in a safe way so that you don't judge them, so that you don't think a certain way about them. You could be their best friend and they could still be hiding stuff from you. You know, this whole K's for Are You OK is an amazing opportunity for you and I to get involved. And the whole thing is about committing to doing some kilometers, whether it's walking, running, cycling, whatever you choose to do. You set your own goal and then ask people to donate so that we can do the research and bring awareness. And even, you know, things like what I'm wearing today, a little bit different to what I normally wear when I'm on this with you. But it's not about me. It's not about my business and all those things that I'm helping you with as a part of my coaching and training practice. No, today I want to get your attention. And I think I've done it just with this bright yellow that I am wearing right now. You know, it's not normal for a business person to do a video wearing a beanie. However, I'll do whatever I need to get your attention. And besides, right now, here in Australia, in Sydney, it's cold. So wearing the beanie is a good thing. And when I get out there, whether it's out in the shopping centres or out in the Botanic Gardens where I do my walking or whatever, people see this and they read, "Are you okay?" A conversation that could change a life. Now that, in my case, was a conversation that changed my life. There's been times in my life, and I'm going to be really vulnerable. And by the way, if there's anything that I say today that brings up any feelings in you, please reach out. I'm going to give you some resources down in the show notes, wherever you're watching or listening to this, so that if any of these things bring up anything for you that's uncomfortable, you can reach out. And if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to any of those, reach out to me and I'll jump on a call with you. But for me, I'm going to be vulnerable so that I get your attention once again, because I'm passionate about doing what I can in my small way in the world that I'm in to make sure that what I heard about just yesterday doesn't happen again. You know, there was a young father here in Australia who got to the point with the interest rates rising and the things that were going on in his life where he just couldn't go on, so he thought. So he set his house on fire with himself in it. And that's not good enough. That's not the world that I want to live in. I want people to feel empowered to go on. And a conversation could be all it takes. Now, here's the thing. When we hold back from our people that we know and our friends, it then becomes our opportunity to open a conversation. So for me, there's been times in my life, as I said, where I have felt like, I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what I can do to change these things. And I've had thoughts that I didn't want to have. And in each of those occasions, I've had somebody reach out to me. And just the fact that they listened without judgment and they cared enough to invest some energy in me was enough for me to go, you know what? I can keep going. So Are You OK is an amazing organisation here in Australia. Every day we have Are You OK Day. And I know it's great to have that one day. However, what I'm encouraging people to do is make it Are You OK Day every day. And start by asking yourself those questions and be real about your answer. And when someone asks you, are you okay? Instead of flippantly going, yeah, everything's fine, when deep down inside it's not. I want you to be real and honest with them and go, you know what? It's not okay. You know, for me, as someone who is seen around the world as a leader in these things and all the things that I do, I know that I've been tempted to go, no, just pretend, Grant, because if you don't, that's going to damage your brand. No, it's exactly the opposite. I'm always stepping up and the first one to say when I don't feel okay, because I know by doing that I'm taking leadership and it might allow someone else to do the same thing. But anyway, enough about me and enough about the preamble. Let's get into it. So what I want to do is I want to show you some powerful information that you can use, because I know the reason why a lot of times we don't ask if people are okay is because we're scared of the answer. Because a lot of times we'll ask, are you okay? And they'll go, yes, or indeed, let's put are you okay aside. You go, good morning. And the other person goes, good morning. And they go, how are you? And someone will come back to me and go, how are you? And I go, no, I'm not telling you. I asked you first, because the conversation is not really anything below the surface. It's just what you do. So for me, it starts with asking myself the question, are you okay? Or if someone asks me that question, to go, my initial response might be yes, but then to go, you know what, is it really? And that's what I like to do, is ask people, how are you doing today? And they go, great. And I go, really? Just to prompt them to have that extra think about it, and for them to see that I care and I want to listen. So here's the questions that we can ask. By the way, on this side of the card, and I'm going to put them all down in the notes for you. Not sure if that's going to work. Are all places that you can get in touch with someone and have these conversations. But I hope that someone will have the conversation with you first. On the front of the card, it talks about, and I'll put this up in the notes, it talks about a conversation that you can have. And it's a step-by-step, and that's a lot of times all we need is go, well, okay, what do I say? So the first one is to ask, are you okay? Now, once again, when we do that, we've opened a door of opportunity. However, all the things we've talked about before in communication need to come in, because asking's not enough. Wearing a t-shirt's not enough. It's about step 2, and that's to listen without judgment. And the type of listening we need to do here is active listening. So we listen to what is said, but we also listen to what's not said. And by listening without looking for something to judge or to fix, we can hear it through their lens. We can do what we can using the skills of empathy to understand what we think they're going through. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to encourage action. So it goes beyond just asking a question and listening and going, that's great, and we just go off and do what we do for the rest of the day. It's about encouraging them, and that might be in a question or a statement to go, hey, who are you talking to about this? And whatever they answer there, to be able to lead it from there, or to say to them, hey, I really think it'd be great to talk to your GP, or to talk to whoever it is, depending on the situation, and encourage them to do that. And even if you can sense that they don't feel comfortable that, to be able to go, hey, I'll go with you and I'll be there to support you. So that's number 3. And then number 4 is to check in. You know, it's like we've asked the question and we've done all we can do, and then we go off and do whatever it is that we're going to be doing. No, check in. And check in to find out how they went. A lot of times, they're not going to have reached out and done the thing that they said that they were going to do. So we just step back to number 2, and we listen without judgment, and then we encourage again. But to check in and go, hey, how did you go with that conversation with your GP? How did you go talking to your mum? Whatever it was, what is the next step for you, etc., and to check in. You know what that does? It says it's gone beyond that initial conversation. They care about me enough to check in. Now, one of the things that I like to do is in step 3 is make sure that I let them know that I'm going to give them the support and accountability that they need from me as a friend. And I say, hey, when are you going to go to the doctor? When are you going to have that conversation? They might go, I'll do it this week. And I'll go, great, I'll check in with you next week, see how you're going. So there's no judgmental, I'm going to check up on you to see if you did your homework. No, it's just letting them know that along the journey, you're going to be with them. Well, a conversation can change a life. And I believe that there are many people watching this that need to have that conversation. So reach out and be aware in your own world of people by asking them, are you okay? Well, that's it from me for another week. I really encourage you to read the stuff down below, to get involved. Please donate if you can and join the conversation. Share this with others so that we can get this message of Are You Okay out to everyone. And next week, we'll jump back in where we were. I just needed to do this for this week because it's important. I'll see you then.